How's it gaming? I'm Phil in the Blanks, and welcome back to the Black Box Files with File 21, Mario Brothers. Not to be confused with Super Mario Brothers. Very different game. This is before, I guess, Mario and Luigi were Super. This was originally a 1983 arcade game, and the fourth game to feature Mario. We had Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr., and then there was the Game & Watch exclusive Donkey Kong 2, which I just learned about. And then they made this as the fourth game to feature Mario, and it's the first game with Mario without Donkey Kong, which kind of led to Mario being its own franchise. Let's jump in there. And for some reason, we start the game off with a little bit of Mozart. That is Ein klein Nachtmusik. I can't speak German. I guess that translates to a little night music. But I think everyone knows the song. Anyways, enough of my terrible singing. It's just kind of weird that they were like, let's use classical music for the opening of this game, because the rest is, original to this. Just very odd. But yeah, this is Mario before Super Mario Brothers, and man, the jump between Donkey Kong to this really shows how much of this really kind of blended into the main Super Mario Brothers series. Obviously, the main thing you're seeing right now are the pipes. This is where Mario and Luigi were now considered plumbers instead of carpenters. They really went through the gamut with blue-collar work, or the Wrecking Crew and cement factory on Game & Watch, and it's just a lot of different jobs they had. The other thing is, obviously we're seeing, not Koopa Troopas, but precursor to Koopa Troopas, Shell Creepers. Now, I've always thought that Shell Creepers were the name of the species, and Koopa Troopas was just happened to be, troops of the Koopa forces, right? So not actually called Koopa Troopas unless they were bad. But then, as the games went by, all turtles are just called Koopa Troopas, whether or not they're actually troops of Koopa's army. So, I don't know. But to me, they've always been Shell Creepers. We also see two other enemies that don't really have a strong presence in the Super Mario Brothers games. Well, here we have Sidesteppers, which take 2 hits. Little crabs, and they kind of get angry. They have come back every so often. I actually think they're in Mario Kart World, I think. I'm not sure. I think I remember seeing that. But they have popped up every so often. And the third one, and probably most difficult one, is the Fighter Fly, which kind of hop around a little bit, and you can only hit them from below when they're on the ground. And they come back in a couple of games, too. Most noticeably, at least to me, was in Mario and Luigi, they come back, which is really, really cool. But for the most part, you can tell they really like the turtle idea, so they just kind of kept that, which makes sense. You had Koopa / Bowser being like a reptilian overlord. Yeah, let's make it the turtle enemies. You'll notice a little bit of flickering too. That is because I guess this game is trying hard to make sure that everything on the same horizontal line is there, so they flicker between frames to save on space, basically. You kind of can't see it unless you pause the video, so if you want to, pause the video, and you'll see that only one half of the top of a sidestepper will appear at one time. Kind of an interesting thing. It really means that I had to record this in 60 frames per second, or else it just does not show up. They just kind of look blank, which is very, very odd. Let's see, what else was this, does this bring to Super Mario Brothers? One is the fact that there's coins. When you defeat enemies, coins pop out, and this is the first Mario game with coins as a collectible. Now, it doesn't do the same thing. You don't collect 100 and get a 1-up, but it's kind of cool that they're there. The other thing, also, is the POW block. Now, POW blocks there's the Fighter Flies. POW blocks aren't super numerous in the Mario games. They've actually started to pop up a lot more in the last, decade or so with the resurgence of, 3D Land, 3D World, even Odyssey and Bowser's Fury. But they were introduced in this game, and then they were brought into Super Mario Bros. 2, which was the American version of Super Mario Bros. 2. So I like how they've been brought back. There are also items in Smash Bros. There's one more enemy we haven't seen yet, called a Slip Ice. Nowadays we call them Freezies, but they were originally called Slip Ices, and they're also in Smash Bros. As an item that you throw at an enemy, and they will turn into ice. In this, they kind of pop up, and they just make the ground ice. It's kind of neat. I don't think they pop up here. I think it's Phase 9, and we'll start seeing them. But they're very cool. Pun intended, I did not mean to do that as a pun. But yeah, no, very much a surprising amount of stuff that carries on throughout the Super Mario Bros. Franchise. Also the fireballs, I guess. If you are on a specific horizontal area for too long, a fireball will appear and start chasing you down a little bit. It's very arcadey of the time to just kind of make sure that you didn't stick around in one area and, like, waste people's time. And I'm not dead yet, so I'm not gonna give up the arcade game or arcade machine for people on the line. So a lot of times they'll have something to kind of purposely kill you if you're just standing there wasting time. But the fireballs are very similar to the ones that Mario throws, obviously, in, like, every Mario game going forward. So it's very cool to see all this kind of tie into the regular Mario series. Now you'll notice also Mario, this is the biggest we've seen him. If you're going through chronological order, Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong 2, and this. And I like his physicality here. He really does feel like kind of a chubby, there's a slip right there, a chubby Italian guy. I just like it. Also, his colors are correct, too, with blue overalls and a red shirt. It's super weird to me that Super Mario Brothers actually kind of did this weird brown and red kind of getup, and then Super Mario Brothers 2 did blue shirt with red overalls. And then I think it was Mario 3 that finally got it correct. If not Mario 3, it was Mario World. But it's weird how this game actually got it correct on the first try, and the other games kind of played around with it a lot. I don't know, just kind of weird. But they got that right in this, so good for them. Also, speaking of Mario and colors and stuff, this is also the birth game of Luigi! And in this game, he has his Super Mario Brothers outfit, which nowadays we know as Fire Luigi. Oh, jeez. Fire Luigi with green overalls and a white shirt. But yeah, no, basically, Miyamoto wanted this game to feature... I'm dead. Ooh, that was close. Feature simultaneous multiplayer. And... oh, screwed. Ooh. And basically, you couldn't have two Marios running around, so they made Mario's brother Luigi. And this is where he's from. Now, funnily enough, Luigi... in Japanese, because L and R's are interchangeable in Japan, is something like pronounced like Ruigi. Kind of. And I forget the exact, but I think it's like Rui, or maybe it is Ruigi. Also means similar in Japanese. So Luigi is similar to Mario, and I'm just like, that's really funny. It's actually why Wario and Waluigi have Wa in front of their names, because it's like a pun. Warui means bad. Wario was bad Mario, and Waluigi was bad Luigi, or badly similar. Like, it's just neat. I like that type of stuff. It's very, very cool. As you can tell, this game lasts a little bit longer than like Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. Every stage is basically the same, except for the loadout of enemies and the speed and stuff like that. But this game I can last a little bit longer than unlike Donkey Kong Jr. where I'll die immediately. I'll last a little bit longer in this one. But it can get pretty hard. Enemies start going pretty fast, and Mario's physics aren't amazing. Now, at the time, they were incredible. Up to this point, we pretty much just had Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. For jumping around and stuff like that for Mario. And this was before Super Mario Brothers, and this was just a big improvement in Mario's movement, just in general. Now, don't get me wrong, it's slippery as all else. And when you jump, you better be ready to finish that jump, because when you jump, you are friggin' committed. So committed that you should just buy a wedding ring, because, like, you're there to the end. Because you cannot control them. And that's what I think was so impressive with Super Mario Brothers, was that you can control Mario just a teensy bit in midair. And that wasn't unheard of, man. That was so good. Ooh, we gotta, and grow! See? Those physics, man. To be fair, you can just, like, run and jump, and, like, as long as you keep jumping, you'll keep that momentum. I'm not pressing any direction right now. Ah, jeez, that was really something. Also, one last little thing. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've always felt that the coming back to life animation of Mario and Luigi coming back down from a, let's try to get them both. Yes! Coming down from a little platform where it goes like doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. I always thought that Smash Brothers kind of was referencing that. I don't know if that's true or not, though by the time Smash Brothers Brawl came out and Brawl had this level as an actual fightable level, it was pretty clear, like, yes, that's actually what it is. Ooh, I did not have enough time there at all. But I always thought that was cool, oh, what is his name? Sakurai kind of took the idea of this, because it's, like, kind of similar, because, not that this game is, like, similar to Smash Brothers, but when you're playing with two players, man, you can work together, but you're not going to. You're probably playing with a brother or sister or a really close friend, and you are working hard to basically kill each other. And it's very Smash Brothers in that sense. You knock each other out by hitting them from the ground up to fly into a turtle, or hit an unconscious enemy into the other player. It's just really fun. So much fun, in fact, that they kind of made that a secondary mode. Aw, damn. In Mario 3, which I thought was really, really cool, that if you go into the same space on the world map as the other player, you can kind of bring them into basically the arcade version of Mario Brothers and fight to see who goes next. It's pretty neat. In fact, this game is pretty much available on almost all of Nintendo's consoles. It's crazy how often it's been re-released. It might be the most re-released Mario Brother game in total, even more so than Super Mario Brothers. Even for the Game Boy Advance, it was released like over 5 times. It's crazy. Because in every version of Mario Advance 1, 2, 3, 4, and Mario and Luigi, you could play this game from the title screen. And then I'm pretty sure they still did the e-reader version for the Game Boy Advance, and I'm pretty sure there was an NES Classics version as well. Why anyone would purchase that instead of, you know, just buying any version of Mario Advance, I don't know. It's the same one like how they brought out Metroid on the NES Classic version, but you could just, you know, buy Metroid Fusion or Zero Mission and unlock the original game. I don't know. I always thought that was kind of weird. Like, just basically wasting your money at that point. But yeah, that is Mario Brothers. Not a whole lot else to say other than the fact that this is just a fun game. It's good. It really, really ties in like the Donkey Kong era with the Super Mario Brothers era. It does a great job of introducing Mario into his own little universe with his own little rules. And I don't know, maybe the story is that one day Mario and Luigi were doing plumber stuff and they found a warp zone to the Mushroom Kingdom, and at the end of this game, not that this game has an ending, they find themselves in the Mushroom Kingdom, and then Super Mario Brothers starts off. Anyways, we're gonna end it right now, seeing how I just died. But thank you so much for joining me. That was a lot of fun. Really, really fun arcade game. That, again, like Donkey Kong, I think everyone's like played this one. It's pretty ubiquitous with classic arcade. But with that was Mario Brothers, and next time we will be going back to the Donkey Kong series with probably one of the worst games on the Black Box Files, with File 22, Donkey Kong Jr. Math? Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this episode, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to know when the next episode is up. If you want to support my channel, share some videos with some friends and consider supporting me on Patreon.